Hello and welcome to the daily levels for Wednesday, June 5, 2024, courtesy of Ticks and Trades. I'm Sam Morton. It's almost 8:30 a.m. After the market closes, we'll come back to this chart, analyze all the trades taken in the E-minis if and when the spiders hits these levels and triggers those trades in the E-minis. See you then. Well, what do we have now after 12 hours? Over 12 hours, it's 8:40 p.m. And they closed on the highs and broke into new all-time highs again, even went off the screen. I'll adjust this in a minute. I've got something I want to show you a little higher. So let's talk about the trades today. There were a few, and some good lessons to be taught here, to be learned, because I want to show you kind of what not to do. And this will be evident when we watch the recording of the live trades. But the first one is pretty straightforward. Came up into 5:30.32 right after 9:45 a.m. Close enough to where I'm not going to adjust this. Went short. I actually pulled 5 points out. I was just setting up at the office and started recording this after the fact. So you can see this 10 o'clock data announcement here. Really looking to get filled down here. At this point, they weren't close enough for me to have the order triggered, but they moved around here and I put an order in, hoping they would come down, but they never got down here because I wanted to be on the long side. As a matter of fact, in yesterday's email out to pre-subscribers, I did mention that there was some consolidations happening that were getting painted on the charts that pointed to move higher. That could have happened yesterday, but they decided to do it today, break into all-time highs. Incidentally, if you're curious about getting these levels via email and a little bit of pre-market commentary, kind of what to look out for the day, what to look out for the day when trading, then just go over to the website, ticksandtrades.com. There's a couple places where you can enter your name and email address. I'll take that and add it to the list and continue to send these out each morning, along with the video. The video is not going to last forever, of course. This pre-market video where I put the numbers out, it's really the email that has more information. But anyway, so that was one trade. They came up into this level, 531.45, and you'll see that I was in this trade and came up just shy of giving a 4-point base hit. Jumped out. That's a wash. Perfectly valid by the rules because I don't trust it at that point. And sure enough, they went higher. That was the right decision. They don't always work. Sometimes, I've jumped out at a wash or a slight loss or whatever. When they come back to my entry point, and the second time or third time they bounce, and that's where the move is. But they were going to be strong. It was kind of the writing was on the wall that they were going to be bullish, and they were. They got up to this zone, and I'm talking through this now, but let's just watch the video so I don't rehash myself or repeat myself because it makes more sense when you're actually watching the trades happen. Hang on one second. Okay, here we are. I'm going to start playing this. It's 9:56 a.m. This trade had already happened. This level satisfied at 5:30.32, waiting for them to come down farther. I really wanted to buy down here at this gap left over from the day before. There's the 10 o'clock data release, and never came down here. So you already saw what happened there. So let's just scrub ahead and watch as they climbed higher past that level. I'm not going to trade this again at this point. First trade is the best trade. When they got up to 531.40, I took the trade looking for, also notice that I have a limit order to buy because I really wanted to be on the long side. I did this a couple times actually. If they came back down to this level, I'd be happy to buy again for a bounce back, kind of this a little pullback and then buy to ride it higher up to the next level. But end up closing this out because it looked like they were not going to come back down. But this will get order here will get triggered automatically at 531.40. I'm looking for 4 points, and just I'll let this play so you can see what happens. They come down really close, within kind of a certain threshold, a certain amount of points away from ticks, away from my profit target, and get out of there in a hurry without giving me the base hit. I'm going to second guess that trade. I'm not sure I want to be in it. So when I jumped out, it was slightly less than a loss. I mean, it was like, instead of $0, it was like negative a tick or negative 2 ticks or something right there. You saw that. So I'm out of the trade, not interested in it. I'm out of the trade. I'm not interested in it anymore. And this level is satisfied. And this doesn't mean I'm going to go long at this point. This just means this didn't work for a reaction in the opposite direction. Although when they start to circle back around on occasion, I think this might have been one of the levels I was willing to buy if they got back down to this area, this breakout area here. So let's just watch what happens. Here we go. This is what I mean right here. I'd buy 2 contracts to ride it up to this zone, but they kept climbing higher. So I want to show you when they get up to the bottom of the zone, I had I'm looking at other things, other charts. There's a lot of things to look at, and made the decision that I did not want to buy at the extreme of this. I would buy in the middle and toward the high part if necessary. Sorry, I didn't mean buy. I would sell in the middle. So 533 even. There you go. I put the order in right there to sell contracts here. Not here, in other words. So you're not going to see an order get filled when I pass through the bottom of the zone. And this was not really a gut feeling. It was more that this whole zone is valid. So think about it. Any place in the middle of this zone is valid for a reaction under normal circumstances. And selling here felt too premature based on the way they were acting. So kind of consolidating underneath this for a while. That means they're typically going to build energy to go higher. And sure enough, they went up past this level. I mean, there was some type of resistance intermediate resistance there. But so they got up to 533, like a penny or two away, once or twice. And when they did this a couple times without without triggering the trade here. And by the way, here's my other limit order to buy higher. So I keep saying buy to sell here, and I would sell again. So if I had 2 contracts in the system to trigger automatically, I would sell 2 more. So I'd be 4 short for some kind of a pullback is what I was looking at. I was hoping this zone would provide a pretty good place for overhead resistance. But at this point, I'm considering this level satisfied. They never could give it to me, not 533 even. I'm looking to be precise in these trades. So I did not enter it. You saw me cancel that. There's no trade here. And sure enough, they pull down. So that was kind of a little bit of a heartbreaker because this was the area. And I hadn't calculated this, whether if you had sold right here and just waited for it, would it have worked? Based on everything else I'm looking at on the charts, that would not have been the advisable thing to do. It was definitely a bullish day. So no harm, no foul. And at this point, I let them go above 533.50. Similar reasons. They came up close, just more of a consolidation underneath, and it was kind of just a slow grinding higher type of market. Didn't really want to get in front of it. So I did not trade up at 533.50 either. However, I had some other clues that 534 could be kind of an important place. You don't see me put the level on the board, but when it gets up there and hangs around 534, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at 533 as it's moving around. Then I just went short. It was 4 contracts, a little bit gutsy in a way, but just looking for a quick base hit. And I got that. So once again, not a level that was on the board, but the area was important after it became apparent throughout the day. So just the kind of things that I know what to look for. So let me scrub ahead here, and you'll see this order just show up pretty quickly out of the blue because I'm just selling at the market right there. Short 4, and I thought, well, if they pull back, because think about this, part of my thought process is they've been just sort of just grinding slow, like just going higher and higher all day long. And now look what time it is. It's 3 o'clock. They get to an important area above this zone. Maybe this is where the liquidity is. And if they get to a place where sellers are going to come in, because this is the all-time highs, that they could really push it down in the last part of the day, last 30 minutes to an hour of the day. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to take 3 contracts off of my short position of 4 and trail the remaining contract down for quite a bit. It's not exactly what happened. They gave me this, and then they end up falling a little bit, but they came back up and stopped me out at just a tick or so. So I don't want you to miss this. It happens pretty fast. So let me just scrub ahead until they come back close to coming down into, here we go. So taking 3 off at the normal base hit profit target objective, which will leave me 1 contract short, and I put like a 7-point trailer or 6-point trailer or whatever it was. So it's up here somewhere. You'll see the 1 contract following it down at that distance. I do adjust the chart. I notice it kind of looks pretty busy in a second. So that's why I'm not going to touch this or scrub ahead. I'm just going to let it do its thing so you can see. Well, I said I wouldn't scrub ahead, but I'll do that and back up if I have to, because I think it was a couple times they came down here and I just let it go. Here we go. Maybe this is it right here. Here we go. Yeah, that's where I adjusted the chart. So they came down. There was a little bit of a dip here, obviously. So they had some kind of push at 534, but ultimately a lot of buyers stepped in here and started pushing this thing up. And at this point, I'm not touching it. It's toward the end of the day, and I was happy to get what I got, basically 2 trades. And so let me just go ahead and stop. There's nothing else to see here because I didn't make any more trades, but let me show you one more thing. Back over here on the full day, the 1 minute chart, since I'm making this video kind of late, it's pushing 9 o'clock at this point. They got up to 535.19 and, could continue higher. And yes, there are levels above this. We will talk about that tomorrow morning, and I'll probably put more information in the email that gets sent out tomorrow on what I think may happen. And let's look at a monthly chart for kicks and giggles. Just want to point out that while we have over 3 weeks left for this monthly candle to close, it would not be surprising based on the time it's taken them to get there and just everything else that's going on in this area up here. I mean, we're really close to 550, a nice big fat number here that could be a target, and it means a lot of important things for other reasons. That once this candle closes, if we get a signal based on this monthly candle, which once again is over 3 weeks from now, then that could be the signal of a longer term rollover based on the timing it's taken to get there and a few other things. But just want to point that out because kind of thought earlier based on some smaller time frames that's what they might do. And sure enough, they're at all-time highs. Once again, no signs of slowing down, at least right now. First log, playing by the rules, 1 base hit. This next level up would have been a wash. You would have jumped out just like I did because it was like a near miss of that profit target before it went back to the entry point. And this zone up here, F and G, not triggered. You saw why, because of the consolidation underneath. It's really just 1 base hit. If you were just being conservative, it would have been pretty easy in the morning and just waited and, accepted that the market wasn't going to behave typically and give you other reactions for trades, counter trend trades as they climbed higher. And what I did was slightly different. Did the same thing, got the base hit. I got 5 points, did not trigger anything else. Well, basically got a wash. I lost a little bit like a tick in this zone here. No trades until I got up to essentially 534, pulled down. So between these two here, I mean, it was 2 contracts to start with. That was the first trade. 4 contracts, but 3 and then 1 trailer. So it was $1,237.50, $1,237.50 before commissions. That was the effective number of points based on the position size that I had today. So not too bad. 2 more days in the week, but really looking at the monthly close. We start at the more granular level and look at daily and daily charts, but the weekly and monthly are becoming more important. And we will explain more of this as time goes on. And once again, if you're interested, just fill out that form, send me just a name and email address type thing, and I'll be happy to include you on it. And I might as well go ahead and mention here that I am seriously considering giving those of you who have been patient and provided your information early so I can kind of communicate and send you these daily levels in the morning, among other things that you might find useful. I'm seriously considering incentivizing these early adopters, as it were, more reasons to purchase the course and the subscription when it becomes live, because I have had a few people who have been pretty supportive early on, and I appreciate it. I understand this is a very new channel, relatively speaking. I just want to share what I have learned and show you how to trade according to this strategy that I've developed, and I know it would work well for you because it's worked well for me over the last several years. So thanks again for watching. Consider subscribing. We'll take a look at all this tomorrow and do it again. Have a great day.